Jetzt bitte ich zu mir auf die Bühne den Regisseur Max Kalokoal und natürlich unsere Preisträgerin Miriam Skal. Tell us about the concept of your collaboration, because I have to tell you something. When I watched the film for the first time on my laptop, I thought I had the wrong link because I couldn't tell there was no music, and I had to wait for a long time to hear music. And then I just realized, oh, it's such a minimalistic and then such a powerful concept. But tell us about it. How did you create the two of you together? What was your part? What was your part?
So I think Carlo has a really good understanding of music, and we have already worked on a short film together. This is actually both of our first long films. And also already in the short film, you kind of saw some aesthetic in my music that fit to your film that even I wouldn't have put on it. So you kind of had this special understanding of it, and from there we talked about music references for both projects, and then for this one you kind of picked some references that were really like going into a science fiction direction almost, and like very big and spacious.
I was thinking of Blade Runner. Is that a reference? Is that in mind?
I think there are a lot of references. But we didn't really pick. I think it was more that the pictures already grabbed the music intuitively when we were in the editing room. And you also have to say that we've been to the same school, and there was this like pitching in front of the other students, and I was with this project, and Miriam was there when we pitched to look for someone to do the music. And Miriam sent some sound, like some music that she made for other projects or that she had like draft somewhere, and I think it was even before we did the short film. She saw the images and sent like a list of like 8 songs, 10 songs that we listened to while watching. Like we as the editors, Tanya and Roman and me, in the editing room, and really felt connected already to the music, and the images felt connected to the music, and I think it really influenced the edit as well. Yeah. So this was a big ping pong between like Miriam sent drafts that felt like fitting, and then we went in the editing room, felt okay, this could be fitting to this scene or this emotion. Of course, the emotions from the protagonists themselves is quite low, like not low, but they're like real for themselves and not extrovert people. So the music comes in quite handy to express a little bit of emotion towards the audience or towards the film.
Tell us a bit about. Oh, sorry. Oh, you wanted to go?
And then in the process, when I was just looking at also the new footage, because you went to film several times, it just automatically inspired me. I mean, these pictures, it's amazing. The cinematography is also amazing. So it was like, I think, it was just inspiring both sides, each other. Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit about, I think every one of us who's ever been to a ferry port and watched containers, I could watch this for hours and just stare at them. And what was the initial idea? I mean, when did you meet Rutmer for the first time? Was it something that you've always been fascinated by, container ships? Why did you start the project?
I live in Basel, which is the only city in Switzerland that has like a direct connection that has a port. And I really live like near to the Rhine, and ships pass by. And I don't know if you ever heard of people swimming in the Rhine, but we do that in Basel when it's summertime. And you swim down the river, and then these big ships pass by, and you always look up because this is a narrow curve when you go through Basel, and there's always a person standing in the front of the ship, and it was quite interesting to like, who are these people actually navigating the ships, like throwing the ropes. And also it's quite unique in Basel. You can enter the harbors quite easily. There's no restrictions like all the other ports in Europe. And I thought, okay, I mean, I have so easy access to it, and I'm so closely related to this topic because I live in the city. We're related to this industry. And I tried to find some film, and I didn't really find, like, of course, there's TV reportage and all this kind of stuff. But I had to do this film because there was nothing else there, and I started to find people, and of course you find a lot of people from the Baltics, from Romania, Bulgaria, but it was quite a problem to film with them because they're on the ship for 3 weeks and then they're gone, or they're like longer, and they just hunt the money sometimes, like where is the better job, they go. So I tried to find young people that are actually doing like an apprenticeship, and I started to film with another person. And this started for quite some time. Then this person stopped, and was not enough footage to, continue working with that for a film. And I said, okay, then I have to go back in the harbor again and start finding a young person that is doing the apprenticeship towards being a captain. And I've been there for weeks, hanging and learning around in Basel Harbor and like being the strange guy there. And at one point, and it was COVID as well, so a lot of Swiss people said no, the Germans said no, and some crazy Dutch guys went like, oh, okay, why not? Just come on board. And I remember that on a Friday evening, I was like, okay, I give up for this week. I don't want anymore. And there was like this panerai leaving the harbor, already one grumpy guy in front taking off the tow, and I looked at him and I screamed, hey, can you wait for a second? I want to do a film, blah, blah, blah. Like really like, just approached him, and he was not really understanding what I was saying. And then he went to his captain, and and this was Rüttmer, and then the captain was Martin, and they were like, okay, if you want to do a film about us, then just come. And this is how I started. Sorry, it's a long story, but
we have all the time in the world. And were you influenced by the sounds of a port, of a ship? Is that something that you do when you work on a score? Do you go there and listen to? I think it's such a special sound when you go to a port. You have it's often at nighttime, and then you have the metal, and it's very quiet, and then all of a sudden it gets really loud. Is that something that influenced you? Did you go there and did some, I don't know, did you get inspired there?
That would have actually been a great idea. But unfortunately, I did not go to the port, but of course I was extremely inspired by these ships. And normally when I create a new score for a film, I always create like a new soundscape and like new recordings and sounds. So I recorded like metallic sounds and like these almost weird soundscapes. I also used some of the field recordings you did there. And it's really interesting because even when I watch the film, even tonight, sometimes I'm not really sure what is now the music and what is the work of our sound designer, of Oscar, because it just flows into each other, and like there's sometimes harmonies from the sound design and the sounds of the film that match the score, and vice versa. So this is really, it grew together in the process.
Is it true that I don't know the English, I don't know how to pronounce it, synesthesia?
Synesthesia.
You have that?
Yes.
Or it sounds like a disease, no, but it's a good thing. It must be the best thing in the world to be a composer for film and have being able to. Well, you explain it, please.
Yeah, so there's different types of synesthesia, but it just means that two senses are together. And for me, it's audio-visual. So whenever I look at art, at a film, I just get inspired. I kind of hear sounds in my head, and the other way around as well. When I hear music, I see like colors and shapes. So I fortunately never have this blank page, because when I'm working on a film, I always have this visual input, and especially in stunning films like this, it just automatically comes,
It's quite impressive, yes. It comes in handy, I think.
It's very handy, yeah.
And I said in the beginning that you have a history with DOK.fest Munich. Is that true, Carlo? I think you pitched that project even here.
Yes. It was with what I just told, the first Matros, the first sailor that I filmed with in the harbor, which like came up with this idea, okay, maybe this is interesting. I was still in school at ZHTK, who said, Carlo, why don't pitch that project in this kind of pitch? Sorry, the name is Student Pitch Award of DOK.fest. And it was while COVID, and I was pitching this in a Zoom call, which was quite weird because, you pitch against nothing really. Yeah. But it was a really nice experience because I won, and that was really nice for me and also for the project to get some feedback. But I really remember super tired sitting in this atelier doc thing of our docent Sabine Giesinger, of our professor, and she said, you have to come, and I was super tired, and I had a headache, and she said, come to the Zoom meeting, we have to do this. And I was sitting there laying in my stool, and I still have the recording of it, and then someone came from DOK.fest and announced that I won the pitch award, and it's quite a weird scene to be there, but I'm really happy that this journey started here actually.
Und was für ein wunderschönes ich sage nicht Ende, sondern Zwischenpunkt auf jeden Fall für VRACHT hier. Also ich hoffe, ihr fahrt mit allen Preisen, die es gibt, nach Hause, die wir hier zu vergeben haben. Ich bedanke mich.
Gut bei mir, Jan,
oder? Herzlichen Dank an euch beide. Danke an Sie, dass Sie hier waren in der HFF. Ich lade Sie jetzt natürlich alle herzlich ein. Wir trinken jetzt gemeinsam draußen auf euch, auf dich vor allem heute Abend. Bitte nochmal Applaus für Miriam Skall, unsere Preisträgerin des Composition Awards und Deutschen Dokumentarfilm Musikpreises. Und danke natürlich auch an dich, Carlo. Schön, dass ihr da seid. Danke Ihnen.